we got some charts here that say, Houston, we got a problem here. The US dollar is about to collapse. I think I should have some Bitcoin right now. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm in the Pod 5x5, still live here in Dubai. How are you doing today? Oh, man. Damn. When I saw these charts, I was like, oh, shame. Gotta share them. Gotta show you these charts and let you know you might want to hold on to some Bitcoin and take it off the exchanges real soon. Like today. And if you have some on OKX.DaVinciJ15, which they're giving away a $60,000 bonus, or Bybit.DaVinciJ15, which is a $30,000 bonus, yeah, you might wanna take some off just in case. Might want to do that. If you don't own it, right? If you don't, it's not your keys, not your Bitcoin, right? If you don't hold it directly, the government can just say, okay, you know what? We need some money. Stuff's real bad. Gotta help us out. Help a brother out, right? We'll give you these paper monies that we can print. And we'll take your real money. Thanks for helping us. Thanks for coming in. So you don't want none of that. You do none of that at all. So make sure, right, you take your wealth off the exchanges and you have it in your wallets, right? Maybe only 5% right now of your total investable wealth should be anywhere that you do not have full control of. Okay? So that if they take it all, it's only 5%, you're like, yeah, well, stuff happens, right? And you let it go, right? You don't cry over it. But if you feel that the amount of money in the exchange is enough to cry over, then reduce it. Okay, so our first chart for today, we're going to be looking at Federal Reserve's chart, federal government current expenditures interest payments. Now, look at this. It's been like, going up and down, how much the interest that they're paying, and then all of a sudden, boom. Look at that. Why is that? Is their interest payment almost $1 trillion a year they're going to have to pay? Well, you see that there's something called the interest rates going up. Well, they keep rolling over the debt every single time. And as they roll over the debt, they have more and more of their short-term debt being paid more interest to the Federal Reserve. This is going to be going up for a long time because eventually the Federal Reserve has to keep the interest rates a lot higher. Let's go higher than the fake CPI inflation numbers, right? The CPI, it's lied to its teeth, right? And the reason why it's lying, let's see if we can bring up shadow stats, but if you're right now, I'm just at DaVinciJ15.com, right? This is where you can actually watch my show live, right? And learn and see the charts before everybody else. And, yeah, we do some charts there as well. Okay. So let me just head over to shadowstats.com. Let's see if they'll have both of them. If they're working, no, they're not working anymore. Let's see what the CPI is working. That's too bad the shadow stats is not working because they would give you both. The government fakes CPI and the real CPI. Yeah, they only say, okay, like it's plus 404. So what's the total numbers here? Okay. 5% inflation economy. Okay. There he goes. And they're targeting 5% is the nonsense number, of course, right? I'm sure you guys know that it feels a lot more than that, and it is, right? It's closer to 20%. And, yeah, they just come up with these, fake numbers, right? Because they would do replacement and harmonics and so forth. It's no way it's 5%. Or 4.9% as they would say here. Now, with that said, right, they have to raise rates to like 10, 12% in order to get it down to 2% as they were trying to do, as it was supposed to be before. But you know what? They're just adjust the numbers, keep adjusting the numbers until they get it down to 2%. I'm sure. Don't worry. They'll get it down. They are working really hard to, you know, lie to you about what the inflation numbers are. So they're professional liars at the government. So they will come up with a solution. How do you know that they're professional liars? Well, I mean, how do you know if a politician's lying? Really? How do you know? Slips move. It's so simple. And yet, day after day, people believe in these people. And obviously, it's known that they're all lying. All right. Moving on to the next chart is the federal government and current expenditures. You can see this is the boom. Oh, yeah, we're going to spend this much money, right? And then, okay, we're going to stop spending. And then, oh, no, we're going to spend some more. And then we're going to stop. Oh, no, now we're going to keep going higher. So obviously this is like yo-yoing up, and then they want to spend some more, right? This is out of whack, right? Notice how the expenditures as they were spending, even 2008 wasn't that much, like a little tiny blip. And then the expenditures came back down, and then all of a sudden, and they came back to the mean. And you can see all of a sudden, boom, COVID. Oh no, we can spend as much money as we like. We print as much as we like. Okay, that's not good. That ends badly, very fast. This chart is interesting too. Is Social Security, right? A 5-year change in Social Security. Here's the thing with the Social Security. They will take money, whatever you put money into your Social Security fund, they didn't like take the cash, right, that you paid and then save it, right, here for you to so that they can pay it back to you later on. No. They added that to how much they earn as income through income taxes. And they spent it. And then they put an IOU into the Social Security fund kitty. So now it's gotten so bad that Social Security is actually a negative on the government, meaning that the government is no longer using this money that's coming into Social Security. It actually has to take money from its debts, from income taxes, in order to pay out Social Security benefits. We're here. We all knew it was a Ponzi scam. Everybody knew that, right? Except, you know, maybe people who just don't want to keep their heads in the sand, right? But it was a clear Ponzi scam that our whole financial system is a Ponzi scam. Our government operations is a Ponzi scam. It is not so sustainable. This is the end. We are here. Once again, this is the end. We are here. So if you don't get this, right, if you don't see what's going on, and they're like, oh, well, they'll figure it out. Alrighty. Well, I tried. I did my best, right? You know, the data's here, right? And if you don't believe it, right? If you don't believe the data, that's fine, right? Just don't sit there and go, hey, what the heck happened when, you know, the whole system comes crashing down? I did tell you what happened, right? I was telling you beforehand. Okay. Another piece of data that, you know, you might want to go, okay, yeah, that's a problem. You see, this chart here is liabilities and capital, So what it is basically, the Federal Reserve, right? You know how it collects interest, right? And on all the debt that it printed money out of nothing. You know how it does that, right? So, for example, if the government borrows a bunch of money, it has to pay them the Federal Reserve interest, right? So that, where does that interest, so it can operate. It's my operating costs. But don't you give that a large percentage to the owners of the Federal Reserve? Yeah. And who are those owners of the Federal Reserve? That's a secret, man. We're a private company. We don't have to disclose that. And so they would give those that a certain percentage of that to the owners of the Federal Reserve. So think about that for a second. You have a company that prints money, loans it out to you, to your government, and government points a gun at you. Give me your money so I could give it to these people that didn't do anything. They just print the money. Yeah, that's a scam. So the rest of this information here is about how much of this goes back to the federal government, right? So a certain percentage after that, right, goes back to the government. After operational costs were taken out, after the percentage given to the, the owners of the company, because say, you own a company, right? You're going to get paid a little bit, right? For owning that company, especially if it's a company that can never lose, right? So it goes, so what's happening is that's gone negative. So there is no money, and the Federal Reserve is actually losing money. So they're not paying anyone, because of all the losses on their balance sheets, right? Because they have to take on bad debt, and they're taking heavy losses. Understand? So the Federal Reserve is losing money. The Federal Reserve on a paper basis, on an accounting basis, right? So they can just print money, right? They can't lose, right? But on an accounting base, because they have to act like a business, they have to provide accounting based information. They are heavily, as you can see, in the red. What does that mean? That means it's game over for the US dollar. That's what it means. If I need to draw it out for you, right? It's not that complicated. So you just have to accept what you see in front of you and take action. Because if you don't, you're going to get hurt. Will get hurt. Okay, so let's take a look at the charts here. As you can see, Bitcoin bounced off its support, that its resistance, right, as it was coming on, has turned back into support, and it's bounced off of it with a doji candle right there at the 27,100-ish area. So it hasn't decided on which way it wants to go, but with a break above the support level, I told you guys that this was most likely going to hold, and we're going to head back higher and stay inside this range between the 27,000 and the 31,000-ish area. So that's what we're doing. If you want to make a trade, it's going to be a very choppy one. You're going to have to decide, if you look at the smaller time frames, look for something like a W, right, to indicate, hey, you know what, we're going to head higher because this is going to be very brutal. You see, there's a little bit of a W here as we change directions from the bounce off the support here on lower time frames. If you're looking at this, you're going to be trading this lower time frames because this thing is really difficult at this point in time, especially when it's in a range. You have to just either buy the bottom of the range, just wait and sell the top of the range. That's how a range trader would work. Some people do not do range trade. They just say, okay, I'm just staying away. I want to wait for a breakout, a clear breakout, right? And then even this was a clear breakout right here. Once we broke this level of the 26,900-ish area, that was a clear signal to short. But as you can see, that reversed on you heavily. And so this trading these ranges, even on a breakout, is difficult because it seems that Bitcoin wants to hold this range, especially since, I just finished showing you a bunch of charts that indicate time to get out of Dodge. So that's the problem why we're seeing Bitcoin stuck here. This is not normal for a price action to stay inside a large range, especially that's closer to its resistance level. This is a resistance area, and heading up, and stay there. Usually it fails on the resistance level and comes back and then retests it a few times, especially when it's a heavy resistance. But as you can see, right? The U.S. government is failing, and same with our banking system. And so that means, people are probably coming in and taking the discounted prices of Bitcoin as people sell it off in this tight range. All right. So, remember to head over to okx.davincej15.com or bybit.davincej15.com. Links are in the description below. And hit the like, hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you very much. I'm getting higher and higher subscription rates. I appreciate it. Make sure you share this information with your friends, right? They need to know that things are not good. They need to know how bad it is out there, right? Because it's bad. It is very bad. And things that the charts on the Federal Reserve's website indicate how bad it is. Okay, so Ethereum still has this smiling thing happening here. Failed to break down, but it's still below the EMA ribbon. If this can just, fail to hold this support line, it looks like it will break down to the 61.8. It's a really hard trade, but it does look like it should take us down there. You're still on the short, that you might as well stick with it and wait for it to resolve whether it stops you out approximately up at the 1950 or takes you all the way down to the $1,800 level. Does that mean with the charts, does that mean that, hey, you know what, shouldn't be shorting this? Well, not really. The fundamentals say that, hey, you know what, the government is going to blow up and everything's going to happen. But the chart of Ethereum is saying that, hey, we're headed down. Does it mean that we absolutely will? No. But we have to go by the technical analysis. The odds are, based on how the price structure has created us, we are headed down to the 14.8. Does it mean that it has to go there? It just means you have to take a trade that takes us there based on what we're seeing on the charts. That's it. You can't trade with 100% accurate. It's not possible. You can only take trades based on what you see in the chart. And that's what we see here. Clear short, and so you have to take it. Okay. Nothing too exciting over on the market dominance. Still, we're waiting to see if we can make a move on the alts. I would say, if you want to jump in, I would say, because we're holding this resistance, very nicely, it's time to jump into to alts. I'm gonna make that call. Jump into alts, but with only 5% of your money, and not hold a lot of the alts on exchanges, because, hey, you can see the fundamental analysis is clear. So with that said, I'm not doing a little old lady strategy, only because these charts scare me. I swear to God, this scares the heck out of me. Right? We're talking like nightmare scenario here. Right? That for the U.S. government. So with that said, right, we have to accept what we see, right, and act accordingly, right? Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. All you guys coming out and watching this. Make sure you share this piece of information. You can see that the links of the charts are going to be in the description below, right? We'll provide all of those charts for you, and so that you can share with your friends and family members and say, hey, this is time for us to do something. Protect ourselves, to protect our wealth from what's about to happen. Seriously, folks, do whatever you can to protect your wealth from what's about to happen. The U.S. government is completely broke. Federal Reserve is completely broke. The numbers don't lie. Ask the other people, they'll tell you the same thing. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.